My dear students, in this video I will discuss about long span structures. It is in semester 9 Mumbai University for Bachelor of Architecture course and the subject name is Theory of Structure 8. So let us have a look at the basic definitions and the other aspects of a long span structure. What is long span structure? Which structure we should tell that it is a long span? Generally, the structure with a span larger than 40 meter is defined as a long span structure. What are the advantage? Long span structure, they creates an unobstructed and a column free space. That is the main advantage of a long span structure. What are the applications? Applications of long span structures can be seen or found in various areas. For example, sport halls, swimming pools, auditoriums, stadium. By the way, the largest covered stadium has a span of 204 meters. So you can just guess that how much long the span is. Exhibition halls, the largest exhibition hall has a span of 216 meter. And another application for the long span structure is the aircraft hangars. The largest commercial fixed wing aircraft has a length of 69.4 meter and wings spread is of 66.7 meter. Let us discuss about the structural systems of a long span structure. Now, structural systems of a long span structure can be divided or can be categorized in two types. Number one, bending structures. Number two, the funicular structure. What are bending structures? The structures which are subjected to bending, they have both tensile and the compressive forces. Bending structures generally they were developed for the bridges such as plate girders and trusses. Trusses are highly efficient in bending and they have been made up to 190 meters in span. So that is a very high value for a long span structure. So they have varying optimum depth to span ratios ranging from 1:5 to 1:15. That is, depth divided by the span is in the ratio of 1:5 to 1:15 for the one-way truss to 1:35 to 1:40 for the space truss. So this is the bending structure category. In the second category, that is the funicular structure, they are subjected to the either pure tension or pure compression. Under pure tension funicular structure, that comes the cable stayed roof, the bicycle wheel, and under pure compression structure, we come across parabolic arch, dome structure, etc. So another funicular form used in the concrete structure, it is the inverted dome or the dish structure. Now, for a long span structure, vaults are the series of the parabolic arches. Vaults made of the series of parabolic arches. They can be used for span up to 98.5 meter for the greater rigidity. So if it is within 98.5 or let us say 100 meters, so vaults can be used. Number two, steel truss domes. They have been used for large cover stadium, and the greatest span till now we have seen it is 204.2 meter. Now for long span, compound beams, lattice girders and the plate girders are also used. Ribbed or waffle slabs are also used. Lattice girders, or it is also called the castellated beams, they are very much economical with compared to the universal beam for the long span, because the lattice girder, they permit the services such as air conditioning duct to be run through the open wave spaces. So that is the great advantage they give. That is the lattice girder or the castellated beams. And the next one is the stub girder floor. They provides column free floor spaces. That is the main advantage I have spoken just a few minutes before. That is the obstruction free or unobstructed column free floor spaces. So that is the main advantage. So structurally, the stub girder acts like a modified form of the composite V-endrail girder, but it is economical, remember, only up to the span of in the range of 10 to 15 meter. Let us have a look at the materials, that what materials can be used for a long span structure. First of all, it is a steel, second it is reinforced concrete, and third it is the glue laminated timber. Now as we know that the steel, it is the major material for the long span structure. Plate girders, they are welded from steel plates to make I-beams, and they are deeper than the standard rolled shapes, and they can span up to 60 meter. So but they are not very efficient if we think from the use of material perspective. Next comes the reinforced concrete. As we know that the concrete has the inherent strength in compression, so that is the strength point of the concrete, correct? So as the reinforced concrete have the strength in the compression, they are primarily used for the long span in the funicular compression forms, including vaults, shells, domes, etc. Now thin parabolic shell vaults stiffened with the ribs have been built with spans up to 90 meters. So that is one modification we can, or improvement we can do over here. Now more complex forms of concrete shells have been made, including hyperbolic paraboloids, saddle shapes, intersecting parabolic vaults, etc. Reinforced concrete domes, which are parabolic section, are built either in the ribbed form or as thin shells. The maximum span of these domes is about 200 meters, which is very, very high value for the long span structure. The last one is the glue laminated timber. So they can also be sometimes used as a long span material, but okay, they are not as much efficient as the reinforced concrete one, but they can be used. So generally it is prefabricated using metal connectors into trusses, but they span only up to 45 meters, or the multiple arch vault. Then it can be up to 93 meters, and the ribbed domes with span up to 107 meter. So here in this I have used some different terminologies while explaining the reinforced concrete material in the long span structure. So here I would suggest, please see my video on the design and the theory of the shell structure. There the detailed definitions and the diagrams are explained over there. Let us have a look at the design aspect. What are the design aspects? See, due to the inherent stability of the tension against compression, tension structures, they always lead to the optimization of the system energy, which are subjected to bending moments or axially stressed with the possibility of the reversal from the tension to compression, as in the case of the grids and the framed structure. So our objective while designing the long span structure should be always to minimize the dead weight of the structure, and not only the dead weight, also the ratio between the dead load and the live load, that is DL by LL, dead load by live load, should be very, very less than, and it should be less than 1. Correct? So by using high strength material and with structural systems where tensile stresses are dominant. Now while designing a rigid frame, two types of end connections can be there. Number one, it is a fixed column base, and the second one is the pinned column base. So out of the fixed column base and the pinned column base, a rigid frame always prefers fixed column base, because in case of a fixed column base, it helps to control the deflection or side sway of the frames. But here one point to be noted, that okay, we are talking about the long span structures, but the designing of the foundation is also very important part and integral part of designing any structure. So in case of a long span structure, the design of foundations become a challenge for us. In fixed base design, heavy moments are transferred to the foundation, where the base is fixed. Out of the fixed base and the pinned base, in case of a fixed base design, the moments that is developed in the structure, they are transferred to the foundation. So in case of a weak soil where the large span structures are going to be constructed, the designing foundation becomes very, very difficult. This I have explained about the fixed base connection. But in case of a pinned support, the frame does not transfer any significant moment to the foundation. So only vertical and horizontal reactions affect the design of the foundation. It may look simple. Okay, then it is a better choice because it doesn't transfer any moment to the foundation. It looks simple like that. But in case of a large span, controlling deflections of the frame in case of a pin-based condition is also very challenging. They have some other set of problems. So the main point, if we summarize, that whether it is a fixed base or it is a pin base, we prefer first of all fixed base connection. But whatever connection we go for, there is a chance of the deflection or the side sway in the structure. So our main objective should be to control this deflection. Now, to control this deflection, what is the simplest way? What we can do? We can just increase the geometrical properties of the sectional sizes of the frame. That means what? What are the geometrical properties? For example, the moment of inertia, the section modulus, which are denoted as respectively capital I, capital Z. These are the geometrical properties of the sectional sizes. So, if we increase the geometrical properties, the deflection can be controlled. How? Because as we have learned in our earlier semester, that is in the TOS 3, that the deflection for a cantilever beam in case of a point load at the free end, what is the value of the deflection? That is WL³ by 3EI, correct? Here W is the load, L is the span, E is the modulus of elasticity, and I is the moment of inertia, centroidal moment of inertia. So I is in the denominator. So if we increase the value of I, the deflection value will be less. So that is actually our objective. We should control or we should limit the value of deflection. But see, this is also not an good solution, not a good solution or an advisable solution. Why? Because if we increase the geometrical properties of the frame, it will increase the weight of the building. Simultaneously, it will affect the seismic forces, that is the earthquake forces. And also, as we increase the material, obviously the cost also increases. So, what is the solution to control this deflection? So, the solution is that the section sizes are also not increased. So, what we can do? We can just brace the frame to control the excess deflection. So bracing is the system. So span of this bracing is generally taken approximately L by 10, that is the span, 1/10 of the span on each side.